everybody. Little did we know last week, or even imagine, that this week we wouldn't be in church together and that we'd be back to online church. So we thought this time we'd move out into the garden for some of it, and so we can appreciate some of the things that we've got to look at in our garden, the flowers, and that we'd do part of the service out here. So I hope you enjoy our beautiful container of pansies. It's between me and the camera. I'm going to share the reading this morning. It is from Matthew chapter 6, and it's reading from verse 24. You cannot be a slave of two masters. You will hate one and love the other. You will be loyal to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. And this is what I tell you. Do not be worried about the food and drink you need in order to stay alive, or about clothes for your body. After all, isn't life worth more than food? And isn't the body worth more than clothes? Look at the birds. They do not plant seeds, gather a harvest and put it in barns, yet your Father in heaven takes care of them. Aren't you worth much more than birds? Can any of you live a little longer by worrying about it? And why worry about clothes? Look how the wildflowers grow. They do not work or make clothes for themselves. But I tell you that not even King Solomon, with all his wealth, had clothes as beautiful as one of these flowers. It is God who clothes the wild grass that is here today and gone tomorrow, burnt up in the oven. Won't he be all the more sure to clothe you? What little faith you have. So do not start worrying. Where will my food come from, or my drink, or my clothes? These are the things the pagans are always concerned about. Your Father in heaven knows that you need all these things. Instead, be concerned above everything else with the kingdom of God and with what he requires of you, and he will provide you with all these other things. So do not worry about tomorrow. It will have enough worries of its own. There is no need to add to the troubles that each day brings. Thanks be to God for his word. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. There's a story about a priest in Ireland, and he believes that he's seen Jesus down the street. So he's not quite sure what to do, so he rings up the Pope in Rome, and he says, Holy Father, I think I've just seen the Lord down in the main street of town. What should I do? And the Pope thinks for a moment, and then he says, look busy. So it's kind of an odd thing to say, but the reality is a lot of us grew up with a kind of Protestant work ethic, that you've got to be doing something all the time. My wife's just giving me instructions on where to walk. You should be doing something all the time. And I have some Dutch friends, and they explained to me that they would never have coffee in the morning. These are retired, until they tidied the house up, cleaned all the dishes up, made sure the house was spick and span, and then maybe around about 11 o'clock they would sit down and have their cup of coffee, because they had to be doing something. So we're finding ourselves in lockdown, and my son, I think it was, or my daughter just sent me a clip about a list of things that a particular member of the household was supposed to be doing now that they were in lockdown, and I think this is kind of normal. We have difficulty stopping. Maybe the whole point of this lockdown is invitation to stop. I've got a daffodil in my hand that Heather might like to focus in on a bit. I'll bring it a bit closer. And the thing about this daffodil is it's past its best. And I wonder if I took time to notice it when it was actually in full bloom. I probably didn't, but you can't do it now because it's past it, and it will never be the full bloom it's supposed to be. Jesus said to those who would listen to him, consider or look at the wild flowers, or as we grew up, the lilies of the field. But to look at the lilies of the field, you've actually got to stop and be still and contemplate them. I've got a few nice flowers coming up around the place, some lovely tulips, and I'm going to make sure that I actually do stop and look at them and be still. So you've got some time. You're shut down now, and you can fill it with jobs and things that you think you should be doing and everything else, but maybe it's time to read that book you've always wanted to read. Maybe it's time to just relax and enjoy what's around you. I quite like living out where we are because it's not, I guess it's kind of country, but we've got a few little things around the yard that I enjoy. And one of them is the ability to walk over to this mandarin tree and pick a mandarin and peel it and then eat it. And I kind of realized this morning that the vast majority of the world don't have that freedom. In fact, they have very few of the freedoms that we have. I'm thinking of the people in Afghanistan this morning and the turmoil the place is in, and the New Zealand Herald this morning was pretty dismal with all the bad things that are happening and all the speakers of doom about what's going to happen and what could happen. But actually, I'm quite enjoying being who I am and where I am and how I am. I have a freedom. The biggest freedom I have is to be still and stop. I don't have to keep doing. Maybe I just have to be a human being instead of a human being doing, rather. So, words to the wise for this COVID time: enjoy being you. Enjoy the people around you. Enjoy the environment you're in. And don't get over anxious and upset and everything else, but use the time to be still and know that God is still at work in your life for good. And so wherever you are, may the peace of Christ surround you and hold you and keep you. May you have time in this time of change to be still and know what you have and celebrate it. God bless.
Gently
Here,
we're doing a movie.
Heather and I thought we should do a selfie of ourselves out in the garden.
And we're not very good at technology.
No.
So, it's a small movie, just to say that we're really missing you all and aware of those who are going through some difficult times or find themselves by themselves. You can always give us a call, and we just send our love, and we long for the day that we can see you all again. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.